But if you haven't properly healed from a trauma, and all that you do is to laugh about it because you watch some memes about, again, mean exes or horrible fathers or horrible mothers, it ain't therapy. It's not helping. It's this desperate, whenever I see people do that, it's this desperate call. I want to talk about it. I want to get it out there. I want to tell you how horrible it was to be in this relationship, to be a daughter of this person. But I don't have this vulnerability. I don't know how to do that. So instead of just sitting and having a conversation, looking inwards, doing therapy, spiritual therapy, shadow work, right? I'm just going to send funny memes. And it also goes back to what I said to you guys, that you feel like truly opening up would mean that you're not strong, that you're not happy, and that you're complaining. But it's not true. Watch this reading from the beginning so it makes sense. You're a little bit stuck, not a little bit, to be honest, they're correcting me. You're very much stuck in your mind and in conditioning. All these things that I mentioned, that, that shadow work means that you're complaining and you're not being happy. It's all what society tells us. It's the program, it's the matrix. Matrix doesn't want us to go deeper. Matrix doesn't want us to remember. They want us to stay on a shallow level. This is how they siphon our energy. This is why the path of true freedom and true awakening is remembrance, is looking inwards, is creating your world from within, is understanding that point of origin, what I told you guys. I am seeing that there is some sort of a karmic fire still happening in your life. So maybe for some of you it may be softer, for some of you it may be more intense, but this collective, you would still be tied to your past, to your karmic past. It seems like you cannot move from it. It seems like you cannot get away from it, from that past. And this is why you keep looking for distractions. This is why you keep, looking for those dissociations. But in reality, all you need to do is look inwards to understand. Because if we feel like we're constantly stuck in our past, right? This is an ultimate truth, and it will work for anyone, okay? Whoever is watching, if you feel like you're stuck in your past, you're bound by your past. So whether it's that you cannot just shake off your ex, or you cannot get through a breakup, you cannot get through divorce, or you cannot get through co-parenting, or you cannot settle certain things maybe with your parents, whatever that is, however you feel that your past is just like you cannot shake it off, there's only one reason that happens. When we are not being allowed to move forward in life, and things seems to be stuck, it's because there's something on this level of our life that we haven't conquered. So through that karmic that doesn't want to go away, they keep trying to tell us you are not learning, you're not seeing, you're repeating the same patterns. There's a pattern that you haven't broken. The moment you realize, the moment you get out of the denial, the moment you're vulnerable with yourself, the moment you realize your own truth, the moment you go deeper onto realizing what is it within me that chose this past, because we all choose it. I don't care what anyone says. If it's parents, your soul chose it. If it's your ex, you chose it. However horrible he or she was, you chose this. You chose to stay. You chose this person. You didn't see the red flags. You didn't see who they really were. Why? Why? That's the pattern that you need to break. That's the karmic fire that tries to burn your shadows. See them. See them. Instead of constantly complaining, reacting with aggression, reactiveness, sending memes about how cruel your father or your ex were, instead of going to an actual shadow work or therapy. Stop looking for distractions. Stop dissociating. Stop thinking that deep work is weakness and it's lack of gratitude. It's not. You're clamming up. There's something within you that it's like you've never opened to it. Even you yourself. Even you cannot be vulnerable with yourself. You don't know how. I feel like those last months of this year, you will be realizing this because they want to set you for a different trajectory next year, to be more vulnerable with yourself, to admit to certain things. It's not weakness to admit to the pain. It's not weakness to admit there's a wound within me that made me choose a partner and ignore his red flags and stay with him for years, right? Or if it's not a part, I feel like for most of this collective, I am hearing partners, but I'm hearing that it's initiating in the father wound, whether you know it or not. I have that wound. And it doesn't mean that I'm weak. It doesn't mean that I cannot enjoy my life and still be happy and thrive with friends, parties, travels, family time. But the wound is there, and I no longer want to deny it. I want to open up. I feel this collective, you desperately want to open up. All right. Let's do next year. Let's do next year, 2026. Let's start from these. What's going to be the tone of 2026, and what's the guidance for this collective? What's the guidance? Whoop. 1, 2, 3. One more. All right. Sort of there's a lot of water energy in here as well, but we were feeling this as well. So maybe you are water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. We have clear. May you see things for what they are. You have clear, and I'm hearing two things with this. One is, may you see things for what they are, which means that you are still on certain level in a denial. It's the reading that I've done, last reading that I've done for this collective is coming to my mind. So if this is the first reading that you're watching and it resonates, make sure that you go and you watch the previous reading that I've done for this collective. I color code my collectives because it's going to help you as well. You need to see things clearer. And how we see things clearer is when we look through ourselves. Because we are awareness. This is the ultimate and only truth. I am, right? It's the soul within, it's the spirit within. As we start to perceive external world, everything that is belonging to that external world creates a filter, right? It's like, imagine that your light is that what wants to shine. It's that it's expression, right? It's that beam projector, right? It's that beam of a projector. But then on top of the lenses, you are putting filter of your wounds, childhood wounds, father wound, mother wound, conditioning of society, of culture, of religion, of your specific family. Every relationship that you went through, closer friendships, past romantic relationships, right? It all puts those filters. And not only we cannot shine for who we are, but we're navigating through that conditioning, but we cannot see things clearly for what they are because we're in denial of the wounds and conditioning. This is why we strip the layers as we heal, as we do shadow work, as we awaken, right? As we work, we look inwards to find that light. We start to separate. What is that light? What is that me? What is the truth? And what are the filters? And we start to remove the filters, and we just are. We understand that everything happens for a reason, everything is neutral. I don't want to go there because it's too early for this collective, right? But you have to see things clearer. You're not seeing things for what they are. You're not seeing those patterns. You're in denial, the denial that needs to be removed. And this is your year, 2026. And watch that previous reading. It's going to talk a little bit as well. window of opportunity that we get in life to realize certain things and still change the trajectory of our life. But with that clearing as well, I was hearing that past and the cords. There are cords that you need to dissolve. There's past that you need to clear, and it's important. They're really wanting, this is your first card, they're really wanting you to clear these two things, your own denial and your own past. Understand the point of origin. We have held, may you feel the oceans careless. But what I'm hearing with this is allow yourself to be whole, to be held, for someone to hold you. I feel like this collective, you really need, I don't think you have a single relationship in your life, whether you want to accept it or not, that is equal. There is someone who is your equal, right? And you're fully, really vulnerable. Remember what we said? It's like you have a lot of people, friendships, but they're shallow. Maybe a relationship with your kids, but your kids are your kids. I always say this to you guys, and especially women fall into that trap. My daughter, my son, my bestie. No, they're not. They're not supposed to be, and there cannot be. Right? Even in very few cases where a parent and a child relationship is a soulmate relationship, but it's very rare because they are our most important karmic relationships. Just like your parents were your karma, you will be the karma of your children, whether you want to accept it or not. They're not your friends. You're not supposed to be their bestie. You can do fun stuff together, go to trips together, share hobbies, you can teach them certain things, but if you are saying that they're your besties, it's you're putting yourself on a level of a consciousness of a child. You're not supposed to be your friends. So I'm feeling this, that it's like there's a lot of people in your life, but no one that can truly understand you, that can truly hold you. And this is why I'm hearing that this collective, you need someone. And there's a specific reason that I was saying to you that you need to choose someone for your level of readiness, right? Because someone like myself, a shadow worker, like when you step onto a shadow work session, it does require a lot of vulnerability. If you are very much in your mind, there's so many people who say that they believe in spirituality, right? They burn sage and believe in karma. But when it comes to true shadow work, when we start talking about point of origin, the southern node, the northern nodes, the past lifetimes, right? The karmic contracts, it's too much for them because they're too stuck in their mind. So if you are that person, and remember, be honest with yourself, removing denial, therapy may be a better option for you. So choose something that suits your needs, but find yourself someone that will hold space for you. You're not yet ready to be vulnerable with everyone, with the whole world. You don't know yourself. You don't know your beam, your authentic self, the tone of your beam. But allow someone to hold space for you. We have courageous. Find the courage. It's scary. It's scary. Getting to know yourself truly, it's scary. Facing all your traumas, it's scary. But find that courage. They want you to be courageous next year. And we have compassion. I feel there's something within this collective because you have the tendency to dissociate, to point fingers because you're not yet pointing the fingers towards yourself. So maybe you have a couple of people in your life that you're being very, very brutal towards. Like those, it's sad, but it's true. People who cannot deal with their own pain, they project it onto other people. And those are usually the people that talk very poorly about their exes. And it's a major red flag. No matter who your ex was, could have been the cruelest person in the world, who cheated on you, who stole from you, who lied to you, who abandoned you, who abused you mentally, physically, it doesn't matter. Pointing the finger towards this person and the blame and calling them names and psychopaths and narcissists and so on, it helps no one and nothing because you chose this person. It's not like they were an angel and then with you in a relationship they turned into a demon. They were who they were, but you didn't see their colors. How could you if you didn't see your own through all the filters? You need to learn a little bit more compassion. Who they are is none of your business. Especially if you're wanting to clear that karma and especially if you're wanting to clear and dissolve these cords, okay? Let's do these as well. Take it easy, I'm hearing as well. Take it easy. You need to take it easy next year. I feel this collective, you would be one of those people that never sit down, constantly run around, look for distraction, dissociation, right? Take it easy. Learn to take, you wouldn't probably even know what it means. Take it easy. So we have your first card is soulmates. Number 33. Confirmation, did we say that? 33. It's an important number. Maybe you are 33 again. March is coming to my mind. I feel this collective, you believe in soulmates. I feel this collective, you would love to have a soulmate kind of love. I feel this collective, you believe that soulmates are amongst us, and maybe you already know and believe, which is the truth, that soulmates can manifest in form of partners, family members. There's a reason I said that you think that you have someone in your family who's your soulmate. Maybe you have like a son or a daughter or a parent, but remember, very unlikely. It happens, but very unlikely. But even if it happens, it shouldn't be, it's a very specific type of relationship. True Divine Feminine would understand that her son, her daughter, True Divine Masculine, similarly, that they're not buddies, they're not best friends. This is not the meaning of this relation. It's a whole different story. I don't want to go in there. But you would believe in soulmates. But what you're not knowing is that the more you still tied to your karmic connections, you're not allowing your soulmates to come through. You're not allowing your soul tribe to come through. This collective, you're surrounded by a lot of karmic relationships. If you look around, if you make a list, it's coming to my mind, make a list of people with who you hang out with, who you talk to every day, be it girlfriends, people you travel. Remember we mentioned that maybe you went on a girls trip. Make a list of those girlfriends that you talk to, that you confess to, right? That you, maybe when you do cry, you call them, or when you're happy, you celebrate. Family members you spend your time with, right? Your ex-partners as well. Maybe someone you're connected to currently. Make a list of people in your life, right? And then really look at that list, but without denial. Focus on that beam of light within you. You can close your eyes, take a couple of full deep breaths. Ask your guides to help you to momentarily remove the projection, because it's not going to be, you're not going to be able to dissolve it forever in one go. Who do you really think from these people understands you to that beam within you, to that core, your authentic frequency? Who is that soulmate? I bet you there's going to be no one. Maybe you will point one or two people, maximum 3, but I can promise you right now that no, it's not. I'm hearing that you may mark like your either, like I said, either daughter, son, or parent, or one of those boyfriends, that the one that got away. I'm hearing passed away as well, maybe someone in the past. But it's not going to be it, because you're not fully understanding. Maybe you do have some soulmates in your life, but you're not even seeing it. How could you if you don't understand your true authentic self? This is how we recognize soulmate, because they vibrate on the same frequency. Okay? We have distorted masculine, number 10. I am hearing father wound with this one. I am hearing there's a lot of distorted masculine energy around you, including within you. The understanding of what masculine energy should truly be, it's completely distorted within you. Okay, so it would come from a father wound, because we all have father wound, mother wound. I don't want to go there, but I always say this to you guys, you have to trust me on that. It's going to be a different spectrum, but in order not to have a father wound and mother wound, you would need to be a child of 2 divine counterparts in divine union. How many people can say that? All the rest, father wound, mother wound, right? So you would have a father wound. Your father would have some sort of a distortion that created a distortion within your masculine energy. We all have masculine and feminine energy, right? And the quality of our own energy attracts that partner. So if your inner masculine distorted, all you're going to attract is a distorted masculine. If as a man, if your feminine is distorted, you're going to attract distorted feminine energy, right? So There is a distortion that this is why that's on top of that allows someone to hold you. This is what I feel this collective next year, they wanting you to focus on and start with father wound. Father wound and masculine energy. Proper understanding of what does it mean, true divine masculine energy, because it's nothing that you think that it is. There's a distortion. I'm hearing it, it's not a surprise, it's in most cases, but you would be in your masculine energy. This is why you're afraid to be vulnerable. This is masculine energy. You are sitting in your masculine energy. This is why you look for distractions. This is why distorted masculine. This is why all you accept is shallowness. This is why you don't want to go deeper. Open your heart, be vulnerable. Get to know yourself, face your own shadows, face your own truth. You're in an inner battle with yourself, and you need someone that will hold space for you to fully open up and learn to open up. We have boundaries and we have divine feminine, okay? So I have a few things that are coming to my mind. This is on top of that courage, right? So I feel there's something within you. I'm painting a picture in my mind. You would think that you are strong, that you're courageous, that you don't allow BS in your life, but in reality you don't have strong boundaries, because strong boundaries come at peace and come with self-love. They don't come with aggression. Boundaries are not, no, you're not going to do this to me, no more. This is not a boundary. This is not a boundary. This is aggression. This is pain manifesting as aggression. This is grief manifesting as aggression. Frustration. There's something about boundaries that you also need to understand. Healthy, strong boundaries come from understanding of self, of that beam, and then self-love. When you love your beam, you love your frequency, and then you understand it and you surround it with self-love, boundaries are raised naturally. There's just certain things that you don't allow and you don't resonate. And when you get angry, it's because you don't have these boundaries, but you get angry with yourself that in the past you allowed something in your life that resulted to be a horrible choice. And instead of facing the shadows that forced you to make those choices, you lash out. Remember what we said? I'm seeing that it's going to be different because it's a collective, or for some of you it's going to be combination. It's a spectrum between dissociation, sarcasm, irony, jokes about trauma and exes, ha ha ha, up to aggression and lashing out. Complete denial, distortion, dissociation. And we have the divine feminine. So maybe you even, I sense that there may be some sort of it's like you licked the topic of spirituality, but you don't really understand what it means. Maybe you've heard of this divine feminine, that she has boundaries, she is strong, that you want to become her, that she, knows her soulmates. But you're lacking the number one component of divine feminine. I mean, you're in distorted masculine, you're lacking boundaries, you're lacking self-love, vulnerability. It's a foundation of the divine feminine. But more than anything, it's compassion. If you do not see yourself in another with love, forgiveness, and compassion, every person, no matter what they did to this world or to you, you're not a true divine feminine. We are embodiment of love. Embodiment of compassion, Christ consciousness. Okay, all right. Let's dive deeper. Let's do the same spread that we did, but for the next year. What is coming next year, and what is the guidance? 2026 for this collective. It's beautiful. Resistance at the bottom of the deck. You have resistance. Okay, you have 2 cards of shadows and 2 cards of light. There it is. There it is. Everything we said. First card is beautiful. It's card number 1. Is soul and magic. It's your soul. It's that beam. It's that beam. It's you. It's your authenticity. Number 39. It's the authenticity of your frequency, of your beam, is you, is your soul. You have to connect to that. You're sitting in a place of ego, physical body, shadow. But the road towards road towards that inner beam of ours goes through the filters, the shadows, the wounds, the projections, the conditioning, through all of that. If you don't face that, if you don't go through that, you will never reach that soul. You will never touch your own soul, your spirit, your authentic self. Authenticity is the key to alignment. Magic elixir that pulls in our destined path towards us like a magnet. They're really wanting you to get acquainted with your soul. And we have two shadows. We have confusion, right? We have confusion. As we embark on this journey, maybe you are already confused, and maybe there's going to be a lot of confusion in your life, things that you're not understanding, right? You're not understanding. I think this collective, you're asking yourselves the why about many things. Why I cannot get rid of certain things from my past, why I cannot live a certain way, why, what, everything happens for a reason. When we lack certainty in who we are and what is our purpose in this world, life can often confuse us. Lack of understanding of human nature mixed with our own shadows makes it hard for us to decipher other people's intentions toward us. And it's true. Why you didn't see that your ex was who he was? Because you don't understand yourself. You don't understand human nature. You're not touching your own soul. So you couldn't see his. Confusion happens when we refuse to trust and surrender to the mysteries of life. Instead of observing and allowing things to unfold, we force ourselves to analyze, understand, and take decisions because you're stuck in your mind, in your logical mind, in your masculine energy. The more inner work we do, the more we understand ourselves, and through our own shadow work, we get acquainted with human nature in general. We see things with clarity, and what we still don't understand or can control, we live in the hands of the divine. Listen, I met so many people that they stumbled across a very brutal karmic relationships, right? Be it father, mother, ex-partner, right? So what they want to do, what they want to understand the why. So they start to buy books or even go to experts, right? Or to therapists, and they start asking questions. So they're going to buy all these books about abuse, about narcissism, about addiction, about, everything that they see in these people. And they're going to pay for therapy sessions to ask about their past relationships. But they're afraid like fire to face themselves. All we have to do to understand other human beings is understand ourselves. And I promise you this. And there's so many people that say, no one will understand me, okay? So many people that say, oh, I'm not going to go to this therapist because she didn't go through what I went through. She's not going to understand. This shadow worker, she didn't go through or he didn't go through what I went through. They're not going to understand. Bollocks. Separation is an illusion of this physical world. We're oneness. We all carry the core wounds within us. Some of us, we suffer through more, some of us we suffered through less, but when we get to know ourselves, we activate the compassion, we activate the empathy, we activate the oneness with the universe. We start to see ourselves in another. When you truly activate your empathy, you stand in front of someone because you know your own being, because you know your own soul, that is everything, that is universe. You feel what they've been through. And in this particular lifetime, you didn't necessarily have to go through the same thing. You don't have to have all the answers, but you feel it, you understand. So instead of just trying to find out and decipher why people in your past were, decipher yourself. Understand yourself. All we need to do in this life to understand others is to understand ourselves. I promise you. Once you understand yourself truly, fully, deeply, your soul, your authenticity, your frequency, you connect to the universe, you connect to God, to oneness with the universe, you understand human nature. You know the drill, you know the game, you know how it works. But it comes with compassion and empathy. And we have judgment. That's your last card. I think it's something that they will want you, that confusion and the judgment. I'm going to read that card as well, because I think these two are really important for this collective. Judgment lives in a wounded heart, which we know because you do have a wounded heart.